Hello guys, in the last video we designed our PCB using Eagle CAD Soft PCB design software. So in this video we're going to use the CAM processor to create the Gerber files that we need to send to our PCB manufacturer. Now that we have our PCB designed and ready to go, we can go up to the CAM processor, which is up here. And the first thing we need to do is load the job, so let's open. I'm going to use this coder and solder one, which is one I downloaded. It's just the last one I used. You have a choice of files, but basically all it does is set up these little tabs to give you the different layers that you need to send to the PCB manufacturer. So the first one here, top copper, so it's obviously the top copper layer. We have the top, which is the top copper layer, the pads and the vias. So the pads are where your components are connected, and the vias are the connections from the top layer to the bottom layer. And it's also included dimension here, so that'll give it the outline of the board. Bottom copper, the bottom pads and vias again, basically the same thing. The top silk screen is going to put the names of the components and any kind of text that you have in those two layers. It's going to appear on the silk screen. Same with bottom silk screen. The solder mask, that basically tells it where not to put solder mask. So that would be over your component pads, that kind of thing. So that's what that layer is for. And the drill file is for any vias, any through hole pinholes or pad holes, whatever you call them, or mounting holes, anything like that. So that'll all appear in the little text file there. Just one thing, when you're doing your drill file, if it loads up as Epsilon, you want to go to Epsilon 24, because if you don't, the drill file is going to be way out of scale with the rest of the board. It's not going to work. So if you use Epsilon 24, it should match it. Then the middle layer, I never used this, so not sure. Milling layer, I guess if you did a polygon or a line or something like that, you could set it up as a mill layer. So once you've all that, or you're happy with all those settings, you just go process job, it sorts it out, and then when you look in the folder where your file is saved here, you'll see all those files. When we go into the folder where our file is saved here, you can see your board file and your schematic file. Then if you look here, there's your drill file, bottom layer. I forget what that file is, but that's probably the silk screen. Mill layer, I'd imagine. Top layer, that's the silk screen, and that must be the solder mask, or where not the solder mask. Anyway, what I'd normally do is get a new folder here, and we'll pull all those files into that folder. I think that one there is the drill file. GPI, that might be one of them as well, I'm not really sure. You don't really need all of them, but you can send them to the board manufacturer anyways, no harm. So the main ones really, that's the drill file. What we need is the top layer and our solder mask, silk screen for the top layer. So really, if that's all we wanted to do, we could just send those 4 files to the board manufacturer. But I'll open them up here in another program and I'll show you what they look like. To check that our files look right, I have a program here called gerber view. That's what I'm going to use to just to view them here. So I've loaded in all the files, and we can zoom in the same way as we could on the other program. Just scroll your mouse wheel, and on the right hand side you can just select the layers you want to see. So the green layer there, they don't appear to be anything. Maybe that one there, that's obviously the copper layer, so the top layer. A lot of these don't really do anything. So layer 3 there looks to be the solder mask, so that's where not to put the solder mask. So that grey area is above the pad there, and this is the top pads, I'd say. So if we hide them, these blue lines there, obviously the drill file, so that's the drills. and that's the solder mask on the top, is the gold. There should be some of these. Yes, there's the bottom layer pads, so you would expect them, but there's no bottom layer copper, and that's the solder mask for the bottom layer, but there's no bottom layer silk screen. So there's the there's the silk screen, that's the solder mask for there. So you can see the different layers, and like I said, some of them you don't need, but others there are useful. But it's better to send all the files to the PCB manufacturer so that there is no mistake. So that's how you go about designing a PCB. It's fairly simple. You just kind of need to systematically follow the steps and don't go too crazy. It's basically the same thing even if you have a huge PCB with hundreds of connections. It's all just joining the dots pretty much. But the next step we're going to do in this series is upload the files to a PCB manufacturer, and the manufacturer we're using is it's jlcpcb.com. So I'm not going to upload these files for this little LED thing. I'll upload the tractor files that we want to get manufactured, and then when those files come back, when the boards come back to us here, we'll inspect them and solder them up and just basically test it out to see how good of a job it is. So the next video will be contacting the manufacturer, and the final video then will be testing the final product. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you have any comments and suggestions, let me know below the video. And I'm pretty sure that's it for today, so thanks very much for watching.